was trying on wedding dresses when the venue called and said, "We can't host you anymore." My heart dropped. What? Why not? The woman on the other end started stammering, like she hadn't expected me to ask why. We just can't. I'm sorry. Beat. She hung up. I called back 3 times. No answer. I was just about to call my husband about it when the woman in the bridal store came up to me. "Take that off," she said with no warning, pointing at the dress I was trying on. "Wait, why? I was just about to pay you for it. Take it off. We're closing." I checked the time. It was 1 p.m. She continued, "Please leave." I drove home in a daze with a million things going through my mind. Why was this happening? Was someone actually trying to sabotage my wedding? But who? My fiance held me that night and told me we'd figure it out, and I believed him. But then, 2 days later, the caterer called. Same thing. "We can't do your event anymore." No real explanation, just awkward stammering and then silence. By the end of that week, the florist had backed out, then the photographer. Every single vendor we'd booked was suddenly unavailable, and none of them could give me a straight answer why. I started to feel like I was losing my mind. I wish I knew that the whole time it was just one person who was out to get me. But that's when I called the photographer one more time, begging for an explanation. "Please," I started. "I have no idea what's going on." What she said next changed everything. She said, "I'm sorry, but a woman called and told me you had a reputation for being some sort of scammer, that this was your 4th wedding, and they've all been fake because you're using it as a disguise for some scamming scheme you have going on." I froze. "What woman?" She went quiet. Don't worry about it." But it was too late. Now I knew for sure. Someone was deliberately destroying my wedding. But who? I sat with my husband that night and we went through every person in my life. I had no enemies, no drama, no falling outs. I couldn't think of a single person who would want to hurt me like this. But either way, they won. Because we decided to scale down the entire wedding. I thought it was the solution. Until one morning, when I was walking down the stairs. Because that's when my foot slipped out from under me. My ankle rolled over itself and I started tumbling down the staircase, with nothing to break my fall other than my pregnant belly. I still remember what it felt like when I saw the blood pool around my legs. I screamed for my husband and everything went black. A few hours later, I woke up in a hospital bed. My husband was sitting next to me and his face was pale. His eyes were red and swollen. When he saw my eyes open, he just whispered, "We lost the baby." But I didn't even have time to process it, because that's when my mom barged into the room. She draped herself over me and locked eyes with me. They were filled with something I couldn't quite put my finger on. She spoke, "Honey, you never fall. You're the only one in our family who isn't clumsy. You are careful with everything." "Enough, Mom. I can't handle being lectured right now," I said with tears in my eyes. She continued, "One time I fell down the stairs and you even told me that you've never fallen down the stairs before. That one time this girl pushed you in middle school and you still didn't fall because your balance was so good." My husband stared at her. "What are you saying?" My mom responded, "I'm saying that someone rigged your stairs on purpose so that your wife would fall down and lose the baby." Before I could say anything, she took out her phone. On it was footage from our hallway camera. I watched as a woman walked into our home with a spare key and iced our stairs so that I would fall. I recognized the woman instantly. It was my best friend's best friend. "What the F?" I blurted out. My mom called the police immediately, and they arrested the woman that same night. Turns out her and my best friend Leah had been friends since childhood. But then Leah met me in college, and she started pulling away from the woman. She said she watched Leah choose me over and over again. So as revenge, she watched me get everything she thought she deserved and tore it apart, including my baby. But now she's the one getting torn apart by the lesbians in prison. Lol.